clutch lever the next cassette tape, or is it sticking around? Let's talk about Y-AMT, DCT, and the E-clutch.
This one was completely my fault.
Hey Sprocketeers, my name is Saffy Sprocket, and today we're tackling a question that might make a few purists twitch. Are we shifting towards a clutchless future? Because let's be honest, the motorcycling world is changing, and it's changing fast. Yamaha's brought us Y-AMT, Honda's been championing DCT for years, and Suzuki has now jumped on the bandwagon with its system. One by one, brands are rethinking the way we shift, and it's starting to feel like the old school clutch might soon become a museum piece. But what exactly is going on here? Is this just a fad, or are we watching the start of a new big revolution in the motorcycling industry? Well, let's find out. For decades, the clutch was sacred. It was part of the ritual, pull the lever and tap the gear, and the engine would respond. And that's how we learned to ride bikes. That's what made riding feel real. But over the past few years, manufacturers have been quietly rewriting the rulebook. It started with Honda's dual-clutch transmission, the DCT, back in 2010. It was futuristic, it was smooth, and surprisingly really popular. Yamaha's October 2025 announcement confirms the Y-AMT for the Tracer 7 and the Tracer 7 GT. We're not talking about scooters here. These are real motorcycles with proper gearboxes and full power engines. They just take some of the workload off your left hand. Now, what's driving this change exactly? Well, there's a few big reasons. First, accessibility. Let's face it, modern traffic, especially in cities, is miserable. Constant clutch work isn't romantic. It's repetitive stress therapy for your wrist. Whereas a semi-automatic system that makes riding smoother and easier, especially for new riders or commuters, why wouldn't you want that? Secondly, technology. The rise of ride-by-wire throttles and advanced ECUs means bikes can now synchronize gear changes, throttle, and traction control better than any human could. These systems make riding safer and smoother without killing the fun. And finally, the future of manufacturers and preparing us for a generation raised on automatics and electrical vehicles. People who might love the idea of riding right now, but don't want to learn clutch control. If motorcycling wants to survive in this world, it has to evolve a little bit. So how do these systems compare? Well, Honda's DCT is the ultimate veteran, a twin-clutch setup that preloads gears for lightning-fast shifts. But it's heavier, it's more complex, and also it's extremely expensive to make and also to buy. But it feels incredibly refined. Think of it like the luxury car transmission of the bike world. Then there's E-clutch as well. It's the newest player in the game. And it's almost stealthy. It works like a manual, but unlike the others, you don't have to use the clutch lever. You can pull it if you still want that mechanical satisfaction, or you can just ignore it altogether and shift with your foot. It is the, as they say, the boomer clutch safety blanket. One toe in the future and one hand in the past. Now, Yamaha's Y-AMT is the lightweight fighter. It keeps the regular gearbox, but it automates it with electronic actuation. It's closer to a traditional manual feel. You can still flick between manual and auto whenever you want. Now let's get on to the purist argument, because let's be real, not everyone is excited about this. In fact, a lot of people are pretty upset. Some riders see these systems as soulless. They argue that the clutch control is part of the art of riding, and that the feeling of balancing a throttle bite point and the gear at once, it's a skill, and is about letting the bike do its thing. And those who want to implement E-clutches, well, they think it feels a little bit like cheating. And to a degree, yes, they're right. There's something deeply satisfying about the perfect upshift. But for every rider who swears by the lever, there's another who's just as happy not to have to feather it throughout rush hour every single day. So maybe this isn't about losing the clutch at all. Maybe it's just about giving you the option. And ultimately, if it gets more people into riding motorcycles, isn't that going to benefit everyone overall? But are we seeing the end of manual bikes? Well, not quite yet. Manual bikes still dominate sales, and for a lot of us, they will always be a part of what makes riding feel alive. In 2010, no one ever thought that DCT would catch on, and now it's mainstream. With Y-AMT now confirmed for the Tracer 7 lineup, it feels like we are entering a whole new phase of motorcycling. My name is Saffy Sprocket, and I'm currently stood on the Yamaha stand at EGMA, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Bye!
This one was completely my fault.